For my personal reference. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I try to organize my thought. What I mean is like, for example, we've gone through financial related forums like Zero Hedge. So Zero Hedge is quite a global site whereby a lot of analysts have input their forecast, prediction, you call it whatsoever, their research for people to read on. The keyword is act as a reference. This is one example, Zero Hedge example. Probably there are multiple other other websites which I also occurred before. For example, Oracle Market. You can Google Oracle. Oracle Market is one of the website is related to financial market as well.
Market. Yeah. This Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Which one?
Hang on a second. I just
Market Oracle. This one.
You're right. Market Oracle. Yeah, this is also one of the sites I frequently visit as well.
Okay.
For example, Zero Hedge is one of them to read on. All these are reference points. For example, like I said, there are multiple sites probably out there. People are reading it. What I mean is like, reading is about fundamental. Digesting all the words, fundamental.
Okay.
So basically, fundamental, people always use it as in the long-term investment. For example, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, whatever, long-term investors, they read prospectus, they read company P&L, they read about financial statements, they read about analysts. I'm sure they employ teams of researchers and analysts to be certain of their financial decision because their investment amount is so big. And they are looking for long-term. Long-term means they can be holding for years or centuries or decades or whatsoever it is. What I mean is like, the thing is that these are on human views about how they want to keep and grow their money or whatsoever it is. So this is one of the natural way of doing in the human civilizations. So there's nothing of wrong. This is something, one of the ongoing things which is all human beings are trying to not reinventing the wheel, but just follow professionally, so to speak, ways of enhancing their accuracy of their decisions on investment or decisions in when to position their entry for the trade to gain profits and enhance the profitabilities of their decisions. So this is one of the things only, yes. And there are technical people which is analyzing based on the chart patterns. Purely the word called chartist. Chartist is technical analysis by strength, by default, by way of they're putting more on their weightage of their decision based on the chart, how the chart structure, things like that. So in financial world, we realize that the norm professional way, by accepting them, they are fundamental and technical. I'm sure you've heard about it. This is quite a common word on the financial investment world. So what I see is what our teams are doing is not really off the track. It's still on the track. It's only that I can extrapolate that everything go accordance of our effort, and then end of the day, I can foresee the end product that we created. I foresee that in times to come. But when I foresee means my foresight is viewing the future, that this probably the prototype completed. I already have a vision of what it is already. But issue is when I jump to the future to look at that byproduct of our creations, our team effort creation, I don't feel any sensation. It's going to be a piece of dead meat that nobody's going to bother. Then I found that, hey, this is a warning sign that I have to come back to discuss with you. I think this is because we don't want to let any of our effort gone to the drain or gone to waste. You see. Okay, I think basically you are experienced person. You can see the end of the day, this website build up is going to be like what, like what, and that is it about it, something like that. So I think the element that I want to enhance for the people would be more participations. Participation is, as we know how to create participations by not reinventing the wheels, as in the successful models out there. For example, the keywords is called community building is by a few preset layout to let the ecosystem grow. It's just like it's setting, you want to grow grapes, you want to grow grapes, they call it vineyard or whatsoever. You need to have the wooden stake set up, means the structure, for the plant to climb on the bamboo stake or whatsoever structure, so that the grapes can hang. After that, the structure from the plant crawling on the framework, and then they'll bear fruits, and then the grapes will be hanging, sort of in the mid-air, built by the structure. This is called community building structure, So I'm saying adding on the missing element, I feel is about how to attract participants is the key success fundamental of a website. If there is visitor, but you cannot convert them to be participants, then it's a failure of a site. I think you know about it, So how do we capture every visitor to have a higher chance of participation? So we need to create, for example, forums, Forums, we know that the successful one, for example, Reddit is a big forum. In any topic in this world, they if any trend starter, they can create a topic. It depends on who wants to reply on that thread of the topics ongoing. Whether it's the argument, debate, opinions, challenge, people would participate in creating the comments out there to the forums. So forum is one way of capturing the participant by they feel that they want to express their views on that setting, that kind of setting. So forum is one component to attract and retain participants, because without, you just give people like, okay, for example, if you miss out the forum participation of a space for them to voice out, because some people not really come to the site, not really want to straight away wanting to be a hunter or punter yet, not ready yet, but they don't mind to extract other people writings through the forum, as well as maybe contributing into the forums, because it's going to be you need to create a warm market path for people to be comfortable in going through the main things that we are creating. Is called converting people to be a hunter or hunter. So there must be a buffer in between for people to feel comfortable on the site first. Because we understand one thing called peer pressure, because it's just like they are not a drinker. They can drink, doesn't mean they can't drink. It's just that they don't want to straight walk into the club. They want to mingle outside the club, talking to people, make friends, and then they get some influence, and then they have some company, then they go into the club, buy a cover charge and go into the club to dance on the dance floor.
Okay.
Sort of things. Yeah. So straight away, you don't let people mingle, and then you say, hey, I'm selling ticket. You know, people may, because there are a lot of people are sort of having this psychological stoppages whereby I don't really want to have the confidence to buy the cover charge to go in the club directly, you know, because I don't drink. I shy. I don't know how to dance. I can't dance. I'm not a dancer. So they have all these doubts in their abilities to participate. For example, let's say I and you are strangers, you know, and then I mingle with you outside the club. I go there, that place is not intentionally have to go to the club to dance and drink. But when I get to know you outside the club and talk to you, we exchange some views on other topics. It can be anything. Then there's bonding of trusting on your suggestions by saying that, hey, bro, okay lah, let's go into the club. Because before we go into the club, we create friendship. And then when that friendship create a bond, when you do certain suggestions, going for supper or go to the club, I say, okay, bro, I just follow you, you know. I'll go to convert to be a hunter or fighter, for example, to go join the club. So this is a process whereby must be very defined, detailed in understanding about humans' behavior. If you don't understand about human behavior, you just offer people that, hey, I'm selling tickets to the club. And I doubt many people would do that. For example, NFT. You know, not many people know about NFT, how it works or how to participate. And when those people like able to sit down in a cafe, coffee shop, and one expert on the table to share with us about NFT, you know, then we get more knowledge from that person share with us. When we have more knowledge, we feel more confident. When we feel more confident, then we can project, we can imagine how can we benefit from it or make money from it. And then because we never even go through the process before, so someone able to guide us step by step. It's like a forum. We're sitting down cafe. It's like a forum talking to each other, right?
Yeah.
And then when we feel comfortable following the steps, because we sit down, friendship is called trust. And we trust that person. Say, okay, you go through step A, B, C, and you get the NFT. You know, accordance to your budget, accordance to topics of the NFT. What kind of benefit following by that? Blah blah blah. Because there are multiple NFT with the coming with a different benefit of that or purpose of that, or you call it, even it's pure numismatic, collectible whatsoever, limited edition, doesn't matter. It's like there are various of it, but through a friend, through forum, through getting a new friend to, because we want to sit down means we want to enter into the forum to get to know information from acquaintance, and then and then become friend. When the more the person share, we regard the acquaintance is no longer acquaintance, it's a friend. You know, the level has increased. The level increase means the trust level increase. You know, this friend will never harm us. We follow the step, you know, of how to obtain that. So it's like, you know, this forum thing is very crucial for community building in the long term, you know, and if it stay, it will grow, organically you grow in a way whereby the base will be substantial, that, you know, growing, because reader may not contribute first. They want to read, digest, they feel comfortable, they can ask questions, you know, because they may be very newbie in this. They find that there's a channel for them to ask questions, you know, to a total stranger in the forum, you know. And then total stranger in the forum reply, and then they can initiate video conference or whatever. And when they start with, it's a friendship already. So friendship, then they will share information. I mean, about 20 over years ago, when I was very young, like 20 years old, I make friends in the forum. And I met a person, and till today, that guy is still my friend.
Wow.
Seriously, I'm not joking. Not just one, you know, there are a few of them. Yeah, now I can recall. I met people, real people, through forum, and they are like-minded because we're entering the forum of that topic. And then till today, they are still my friend, you know. As and when, if I want to call them, they know who I am, I know who they are. Although maybe we can be long distance, or maybe we don't talk for years, but when I ring them, they can recall who I am, because friendship has built. You know,
makes sense, bro.
Yeah, because we also initiate in physical meetup, you know, and whatever they share with me, I never have any doubt. I trust them. You know. Yeah. If I don't go into, if our website don't have this mechanism setting, it's going to be a dead piece of meat.
Makes sense,
you
bro.
know. Yeah, it's going to be a dead piece of meat. So foreign is one keyword. I don't want to go to that extent yet, too lengthy. You know what I mean about foreign already. Foreign is one of the components we can consider. How do we add into the sort of landing page? Just for impression, they can expand that page. I mean, maybe a small column to show out there's a forum existing in this site. You know, if you're not comfortable straight away to become a punter or hunter, they can click on that link from the small window and then can expand that window. Then they can see the whole series of topics randomly, organically, voluntarily created by individual. You understand? So this is one of the components whereby people would gather in a topic of what they see, they like. They will gather in that corner of the topic that individual interested in. Because interest is another keyword. If you cannot get the interest of the individual, because we are very dynamic, every humans are of coming with various of topics of interest, plus even hitting on the same topic of financial. Everybody knowledge level is different. Aside from interest level different, knowledge different, experiences level differences. So if you are able to create a forum, they can find their comfortable topic to follow and enhance their knowledge and confidence, you know, on making decisions, because it's their money, you know, right? You must give the freedom of choice for them on their comfort setting to do financial investment. You cannot be too domineering or rigid or just limited options to force people to become hunter and panther. No, no way. This is going to fail.
Okay, got it.
And then, humans, why humans have this, okay, coming to why human will want to stay on this side. There are only two things. First thing is that they come to this side, they find a sense of belonging because finally something matched their belief. Belief is a major keyword in the whole success of this style. First thing, belief. I believe I can be rich. The answer is out there. But I know that I may not be a professional in financial market, but I want to enhance my levels of knowledge. So I reach out to internet. I done some research on Google, and then I've come into this site, maybe through social platform, through friends, or certain keyword that trigger this site. I come to this site. Hey, this site somehow can assist and support my belief in wanting to be rich. Because there are so many like-minded people on this site that I can benchmark on own pace of learning, by reading it from different topics on the forum, for example, to follow, and then I can even come back as and when, and then, this is a live generated forums whereby the different topics always generated out from the forum. I find it very refreshing. It's live, it's sort of in a global scale. And then I find that this is of a standard whereby I can trust to read on. Belief is one thing that that's very, very crucial of the success or failure of this true side out. Because if you don't understand about human belief systems, you cannot really design something for enhancing their belief. So this forum is one component that they can fall on to because they find that similar and it enhance and it support their belief systems, So belief is a religion sort of thing, for example, a religion, money is a religion, universal religion. So make money is one belief. I want to be rich is one belief. How can I be rich is one belief. How can I get leverage from others, knowledge, vision, prediction, forecast, analysis, opinions to generate on supporting my belief. So belief is a religion, So belief is a system whereby we can't see, but we know deep inside, this is what pushing us moving forward, living every day, that we believe we can do something, we can make our life better. So belief systems is we have to be very, very sensitive and caring towards it by designing something to support it. And if the other second belief is that if we don't, we the belief is what, The other belief is called poor belief. It's like they already condemn their whole fucking life to be poor because I born poor, And when they come to this side, they see a light, they say, fuck. Suddenly their belief has been turned upside down. You know, it's just like great authors writing hot-selling books. Back in year 2000, the top-selling, hot-selling books is called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. So it's a belief whereby, I tell you something, the book does change my belief ever. You know, it does change my belief. Remember I was working 24-hour job in a PSA port. And I know this friend, Herman, through internet forum. Why I go to that forum? Because I want to be rich. So keyword to Google is how to be rich. I trigger this forum. I get participation. I talk to Herman. I make virtual friends, Herman, and realize he also a Singaporean. Somehow about 1 year older or same age as me. Through the forum, he recommended me to buy this book and read. I mean, hell, I'm a school dropout. I don't read books, man. Books to me is like a taboo. I don't even finish any books in my entire life, not in my school days. You know, I never. So when my belief bring me to a forums where I can make friends, and through friends influence that, you know, saying it's a must to buy this book and read on. That was somewhere when I was 20 plus years old. And then, Herman strongly recommend me to buy this book. And then come a time I just have some free time, I walk past the bookshop, and then I saw the book that he had mentioned about title, and then I just bought it. Because anyway, we were 20% discount, why not? Anyway, not that expensive after the discount. I bought the book. It's a small book, it's still with me. So when I was working in the port, I have a break. I was curious why Herman had mentioned, you know, strongly recommended to buy this book when I was in a big curiosity, what the fuck about this book about? Huh? Strongly recommended, must buy, must read, you know. And then I just curious to flip the first page and read on. And I was surprised that, you know, with the trust, the belief by default of a human, me, I want to be rich. Second, because of trust, because of friendship recommendations. Thirdly, because I call it, you know, cheaply available information I can read on during my free time. It's just like people visiting forum with their free time. So when they read on, they couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. And then I was just, within about 2-3 days, I finished the whole fucking books. I think 200 over pages or 300 over pages, I can't remember. But I was like, what the fuck? I was able to finish the whole fucking book. And this is the first book in my entire life that I ever finished reading. I was like, what the fuck is going on about me? I never even like books. I don't like to read books. I don't like to study. And I was with full enlightenment and inspiration about how the rich get rich. How can I get rich? You know, it's about understanding about certain financial knowledge within the books that I read on. It's just like a forum, I think, people contributing, you know, 20 over pages of text or whatsoever. So I read on and obtained that, and finally finished the book. It's like a big orgasm exploding like a volcano in my fucking brain. It's like, wow. It's like, I totally agree with Herman. My dear friend Herman is like, wow, this is a strongly good foundation for opening for a starter, you know. I would recommend this book for my next generations, you know. It's something like I will recommend this forum, this website to anyone, you know, for example. You know, this is a good way of word of mouth marketing. you know, through a series of mechanisms. I think that I'm a human going through the events, you know, through the mechanisms. I think the experience that people want to share, you know, with that sharing is more powerful than any social marketing. I mean, doesn't mean social marketing won't works, but what I mean is like human to human is, you know, a recommendation is very powerful. So forum is one of the foundations. I think that we mustn't neglect it, because it's foundation for success, for interactions, for example, for sharing, for passing of knowledge, relationship buildings. It's a story that people can come back to when they say, "Hey, I know Gary from this forums." You know, how do you get to know him? Oh, we have the common topics about making money. That's why we come to know each other from this through site out, for example. People want to trace back to the history. You know what I mean?
Wait, can you explain that part more? Trace back to history. What do you mean by that?
People want to share with a new person about a new things that they know that when they share to that new person totally know nothing about True Side Town, you know. But that person hearing it will ask questions like, "Hey, how do you get to know Gary?" You know, I say, "Oh, I know Gary through the forum in True Side Town. It's about financial forums whereby you can enhance your knowledge. You know, and of course, I have a lot of fun time with Gary, for example. You know, this guy, people want to talk about more topics about the forum, the friendship that they make, and what kind of experience, and certain strong pointers like, oh, Gary is a adventurous person. Oh, he traveled to many other countries. You know, he's a tall guy. You know, for example, they want to share with new potential members that if you're free, you just Google True Site and then you go to the site already. Just like how I showed the zero hedge to you earlier on, and then Market Oracle, and then you just Google, and then you're free, you can read on it, you know, to find your own inspiration. It's a no obligation things, you know, within the comfort space, within a friend and a new friend, you know. So belief is, some people have that strong belief, you know, and belief can be of coming from different roles with different strength to become a different role to participate in this big belief systems that we are creating. So labeling different strength, coming to a different role, I'm trying to come to that and to my explanation. So we must, I think the big word is called hunter and panther, yes, you know, but below hunter panther, what contribute a hunter's calling out a trade call, and then follower reading whether follower want to follow up with the actions is by all means of their freedom of choice, you know. So how do we label categories of contributors? Listen carefully. How do we label different contributors for the followers to read on? So keyword label, later you'll come to what picture what is in my brain. I'm trying to use words to cast the picture. So sometimes people give opinions in our circles of friends, or maybe in the public arena. or we take advice from people. For example, I just give a very straightforward example. Let's say we want to buy a property. Common sense tell us that we're talking to friends in the cafe. Hey, I want to buy property. What do you think? Any recommendation? But sitting around the table in a coffee shop or cafe, you invite because when you ask a question, you invite a lot of advice. You invite a lot of suggestions. But hey, careful, you know. Are those friends sitting around the table? Are they specialized about property? Are they specialized? Are they even property agent? So the keyword is here. If able to sit around randomly sitting around in the table with all the humans sitting around, it can be a friend brought a friend, another friend brought a friend, another friend brought another acquainted friend or long-term friend, probably 10, example, 5 or 10 people sitting around the table. But let's say someone would want to have a topic of, hey, I want to buy a property, a casual talk, hey, any recommendation around the table? But issue is, if the labeling of individual is not correct, and that person asking that question and inviting a lot of suggestions and advice from random people on the table, and take that advice and do it, it may be cause disaster. You know?
Makes sense.
Correct or not? I mean, not say what a worst case scenario disaster. I mean, may not be effective, may not be accurate, may not be just that alone. For example, if we label everyone with a tag sitting around the table, I'm working as an accountant, I'm working as a marketer, I'm working as a salesman, I'm working as a teacher, I'm working as an IT engineer, I'm working as a tax consultant, I'm working as a property agent. So I can see the participant around the table as, hey, this advice came out from this topic of property, and advice come out from this salesperson, can I trust? This is from the teacher, can I trust him? This advice come out from a priest, can I trust him? This advice come out from a momo or medium or geomancy, can I trust him? Or astrologer. Then this advice come out from this tax consultant, or can I trust him? And this advice come out from property agent war. Related, but can I trust it? Yeah, everybody will want to have their output. So can I trust on this property agent? Of course, he carry more weight out of all because it's more related. But if you don't create the categorize of who is giving what kind of information out there in the forums, it's very, very dangerous you read on.
Makes sense.
Because the advice may not be wholesome, or comprehensive, substantial enough in the legitimate involvement in terms of contracts, tax issues, what is the repercussions, or maybe we don't even talk. We of course we want to talk about what is the ROI, the yield, the annual yield of it. What is the statistics about a property market, for example, in a territory, in the countries, the growth, what is the government policy may affect it, the stamp duties, taxation, etc., etc. So those who are involved full-time in that, the advice more or less, you can take side on, carry more weight, So forum is good, But tricky part is who is giving advice on that topic. We don't want to create innocent party. We don't want, because innocent, if you don't have a setting to label, you will create a lot of victims out of the innocent party who read on the information on this site that people are anonymous giving, or they want to put their real name as a reputation. So we must have a design to clearly let the sharer of information, before they're sharing, we have to stream them. We have to streamline them first. If we don't streamline them, it's going to be a big chaotic. It's going to be a rubbish site end of the day. People, who is giving advice here? For this topic, who is he? Where is he coming from? Because the site is a full responsibility on streamlining, by classifying, at least classifying and streamline that people have a clear picture that this piece of information they can trace back is given by who. You know what I mean? What is his sort of it cannot be very personalized background because the internet forum, everybody want to keep their privacy, I understand. But at least we must have the streamline. Okay, when I say streamline, I try to give class example. I'm sure it can be designed, because if I'm able to write on a piece of paper, it can be design layout in categorizing, not complicated. So how do we streamline is by creating, okay, this is a big forum. Big topic is called fundamental analysis, fundamental. So the author, they themselves have to cloud tag themselves first, cloud tagging themselves first. I am an author. I want to contribute in this category of fundamental. Fundamental means fundamental analysis, report, everything is about fundamental. So I come into this category of fundamental. I'm an author. I create my names, I cloud tag myself as the author of fundamental, So people who want to read about fundamental, they go to this forum, they go to this category of fundamental, and there are a few authors who are contributing fundamental analysis. So we classified them for the traffic, You understand what I mean? Never mind, later you can ask to conclude this. Then, example, the second category will be called technical. Technical, technical, there is a one word, and then they click the category of technical. They can see there are numbers of authors who are of technical analysts. They can be chartists. They analyze, their output is generally away from fundamental, purely on the chart technical, drawing lines, this and that, you know what I mean? They can post a picture, they want to share, this is their opinion, things like that. So technical is one of the category, and then they can cloud tag themselves. They are also they can cloud tag themselves because there are people who are out there doing both fundamental and technical, So maybe we can create another category called fundamental and technical, because there are people who do combine analysis, The fourth one is called researcher. Okay, I try to shorten into one word, and then as that as can be expanded with numbers of authors creating different thread on their own sharing of their knowledge to the forum. So researcher is one of the keywords. There are people who are purely researcher. Researcher are also a profession that hired by the hedge fund, institutions, and banks. It can be one person, it can be a team of researchers doing crunching data. What kind of data they're crunching? Geopolitical, GDP, consumer confidence index. There are so many statistics that they have to crunch in. We call it big data. So researcher work is about enhancing, creating opportunity. If they see a trend by researching, they are just informing management, and management would work with the fund manager and then allocate to a certain sector for the investment on behalf of their client, as well as because this is their business, because they're managing portfolio, they got management fee and all that. They're supposed to grow a certain percentage of return per year. So researcher is one role whereby in this financial market, there are people who are researcher, working as a researcher. Their output can be different from fundamental and technical, because they're crunching big data. So we need to create that in the forum category for researcher as an author to output, to output whatever they want to share throw in the market, of what they think. You see, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is called analyst. Financial analyst. They are positions in the banks, institution, even big corporates like Microsoft or whatever you call it, even Google. They in-house, they have financial analysts. Financial analyst is part of the team of the financial team of that company. They work with CFO, they work with financial manager, which is for the in-house accounting and finance matters. They work with the investment department. They work with M&A department, merger and acquisitions department. Financial analyst is also similar to researcher, but it's a different set of it's a hybrid of researcher and the investing officer. It report to CIO, means the chief investment officer. So they are financial analysts that they have to take care of half in-house, half forward-looking for opportunity for the company for reinvestment, or maybe how do they gain more financial gain in terms of their business model, and business model make money, how can they generate using the revenue for investment. So they have to take certain analytics about the investment and outside of their company, so they can make recommendation to their in-house chief investment officer. So there are positions out there working as a financial analyst in this world. We mustn't neglect all this. I call it they are all Avenger, but it's that nobody noticed them. They can be a hero. All these characters are heroes because nobody define all these critical roles which is existing in this commercial world, to letting them have a chance to participate. Because a big word, fundamental, technical, have always dominance and throw out all these magical figures out there because they are working full time. They're working for years, some even, you know, half a decade in their professions. So they have their own unique way of viewing the market because they already been there, done that in their daily routine. So they have certain insight that they have a feel of it. They want to share that. It's just that the world don't give them a chance to have a space to express.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So we label financial analyst is also one of the classification for them to see that, hey, there's a column of financial analyst. I'm working as a financial analyst. And I can become an author and create my sharing of knowledge to the big communities of what I feel about certain investment opportunity, I'm saying. Okay, and then following by the quants. I'm sure we talk about quants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quants is also one of the mathematicians whereby they can have a set of formulas or evolving formulas. They work with computer very closely to come up with financial models, how to create gain from the market. So quants is one segment whereby, of course, there is another thing. These are all the X-Men that come with different strength and become a role in the market, in the commercial world. People hire them for. And it's always, all this can be cross-referenced end of the day later. But what I mean is that we must have the classifications for all the individual X-Men to join on this platform. You know, so quants is one of them. Okay, following by that, number 7 is called algo.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, algorithm is the word. Short form is called algo. AI. Algo is another set of programmers purely on, it's quite close associated with quants, but quants use algo. But why I purposely want to subdivide it out to become a category, because they are actually algo programmer.
Okay, tell me more.
They somehow may minus the equations of quants. Quants is a set of formulas, financial mathematics formula, math formula to create financial model. But algo is based on the price, the running price as a rhythm, as also a set of criteria that they build to run the algorithm to profit from the market. So algo is slightly different from quants, you know. Algo may not entirely based on the mathematics first as a foundation, but it's based on the past 10 years, 20 years series of the financial market chart data to create a certain algorithm. Certain algorithm means there's a rhythm. They need to find the repeat rhythm to profit from the market. So there's algo programmers out there. So algo is another space for those algo people who want to come out to share their algorithms of how they how can they profit from the market. So algo is one of the things. So this is number 7, okay, category. Number 8, big data. Big data is one big word, but there are a lot of people who are involved in big data using different analytic softwares. You know, I'm sure somehow you're involved in that in the past. Some are purely using all the Google indexes. Some are using more deeper than Google, is go to penetrations of different levels of retrieving the data. But they have also they can preset certain filters, different way of filters. There are people who work as an analytics full-time in crunching data. What kind of data, I don't know. Or not say I don't know. How they get their own set of data is with their knowledge. I'm touching the surface only. So what I mean is that there are category of people who associate daily working with the word big data, but using different tools and instruments and different criteria in retrieving to get their objective done. So big data is there are people who work in that full time, and they can crunch data. So big data people, they can sell their big data to researcher. Means they are researcher company who research and combine with big data, you know, with that economical indicators or whatsoever, with big data, to sell it to banks, hedge fund institutions as well. So big data is one of them. And then number 9, number 9 is called, I call it informal. Why I purposely put informal, I don't want to put the word insider or whistleblower. There are a lot of kind-hearted people out there working within the house. They're willing to leak out certain information. You need to have that space for them to leak out certain information that cannot be obtained anywhere. So the word informal, I think, is a little bit more descriptive, you know, rather than insider. Then that will create insider trading impressions or things like that. You got it ready, eh?
Yeah.
Number 10, I call it influencer. Influencer is just like, for example, someone already have the name in the market. For example, Elon Musk. So he's a classic example of what I mean influencer is like, whatever fuck thing he tweet out, it does move the market. So certain people...
Bro, I need to cut you short because I need to go in another 10 minutes. So maybe it's like if you have like more stuff. So we finish this portion and then like we maybe schedule another session next week. Yeah.
I'm going to finish within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
But you just write it down. Huh? So influencer is one of the column, you know, followed by the keyword gamer. Gamer, it can be a young punk, it can be a teenager, it can be whatever, who always associate themselves as a geek or a nerd or video gamer or whatsoever. But certain people who are just gifted that can make, a teenager can make multi-millions in the bedroom by investing. And call a certain trick called, they are gifted There's no fundamental, there's no reason, there's no professionalism to talk about. They're a gamer. But they can game the game. Don't know why. Okay, so one of the categories created for gamers. Number 12.
Oh, bro, how many on the list?
Never mind, going to end already. Number 12, astrologer. Key in the word astrologer. Okay, followed by remote viewer.
Okay.
Followed by intuitions. People have the sixth sense. You must care for this type of groups of people. They can have certain sixth sense one and very accurate.
Okay. Okay.
Last one.
Okay.
13, 14, 15. Last one. Last one, butterfly.
Butterfly.
Butterfly is just like, we call it cause and effect. Certain people can see that coming. What is the cause and effect? It's called butterfly effect. They spot certain trend, and that trend can affect another trend around the globe. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Or spot certain thing that can affect another things. That's why I call butterfly.
Can you further elaborate what you mean by remote viewer?
Hang on a second. I on the light. Remote viewer have NASA, CIA, NSA. They pay handsomely to people who have the ability to remote viewing. They are gifted to have this, they are gifted to able to regress the past, and they can foretell the current, for example, a missing item, or what is occurring in certain part remote. It means very far away. It can be past, present, and future things that humans have that extraordinary gifted things to see events or what is the cause of the events. So remote viewer is someone who possess such a strength that they can see about things.
Yeah.
So they have been hired by all the government agency, you know.
Yeah.
So if you Google remote viewer, you can understand how powerful is this type of human existing on Earth. They can see events that is oncoming as well.
Okay, got it. Okay, bro.
Yeah.
Great input, bro. Great input. So I need to go off for my next meeting. So let's next Sunday, actually next Sunday, once I land in California, I'll ping you. Let's schedule another session to like full up chat. Yeah.
Where are you going later?
I meeting online Zoom. Person.
Oh, Zoom.
Zoom. Meeting already. I have to kick you out already. Sorry, bro.
You're meeting with who, man?
Another person. Nothing related one. Yeah.
Oh.
I
think some chicks or what?
Like something to do with some other arrangement. Yeah. Okay. Take care, bro. Chat
okay, man.
Next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye.